Hello, I'm going to give you some clear guidance on how long and how hard you should be working out to manage your PCOS. It became clear to me from the comments on my video about overexercising in PCOS, the link's up here, that a lot of you were looking for some succinct guidelines, some real numbers to go by. So let's get into it. Everything I'm recommending is research-based, and I will explain to you where I came up with these conclusions, but first the information. So if you are looking to improve your PCOS symptoms by using exercise as a tool for lifestyle management, you need to work out vigorously for at least 120 minutes or 2 hours every week. And you can split that up across any number of days as far as the research indicates. But the 2 hours is the minimum to really make a difference in your hormonal markers and other symptoms of PCOS. The second little tidbit is that 30 to 60 minutes a day of vigorous exercise is associated with resumption of ovulation in women. So that is a good indicator for us with PCOS that that is a good amount of time in a day to work out to improve your cycles. And if your cycles are running well, even if you're not trying to conceive, that's a sign that your hormones are doing better. So you definitely want to work out in a range where you're encouraging your cycles to be regular. However, working out vigorously for over 60 minutes a day on a regular basis is associated with anovulatory infertility. So that indicates to me that working out intensely for more than 60 minutes every single day or many times in a week consistently may not be the best thing for regulating your cycles and other hormones with PCOS. More research could be done on that, but right now I think that is the best clear guidance we have for workouts. So at least 120 minutes a week, 30 to 60 minutes on any given day. Try to keep it under 60 minutes of a vigorous exercise. So vigorous exercise, what the researchers mean when they say that, is exercise where you can't chit chat with a friend or read a book while you're on a cardio machine or watch your favorite television show. You are working out at a pace that is challenging for you. So that's going to vary depending on your fitness level and your age and all different kinds of factors. But you should feel like you're being challenged somewhere between over 75% and 90% of your work capacity, let's say, if numbers help you. And that seems to be where women and patients living with PCOS get most of the benefit of exercise. Okay, so a couple of things. First of all, when I presented this at the National Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome Convention or Symposium last week, one of the guests while I was speaking was like, whoa, wait a second. So if I go on like 2 to 4 hour hikes with my friends every so often, I'm doing damage to my PCOS. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about consistently working out at a high intensity for more than 60 minutes, several times a week, consistently. So over the course of a year, you're doing this a lot, not the occasional or even the weekly long hike. I don't think that that's what we're talking about here when we're talking about overtraining past that 60-minute mark. Okay, now where did I get this information? So the first number, the 120 minutes a week of vigorous exercise, actually came from a brand new meta-analysis. Now, a meta-analysis is where researchers get together and they pull all the recent, most relevant research on a topic, in this case, PCOS and exercise, and they see what kind of consistent results they get across studies. This is a very high level of research, so it has a pretty high level of consistency because they're drawing across many different studies at one time. And one consistent fact that they found across all these studies is that women who did more than 120 minutes, or at least 120 minutes of vigorous exercise every week, had better hormonal markers and improvements in other symptoms in their PCOS. And I will link to that research study in my notes. The other two factors came from a study on ovulation and women in exercise. And so they looked at women with PCOS and I believe women who did not have PCOS. So these numbers apply to both. And what they found is that women who worked out 30 to 60 minutes a week had a reduced risk, 30 to 60 minutes a day of vigorous exercise had a reduced risk of anovulatory infertility. And so that's when you're not ovulating and you can't get pregnant. So that is kind of one of the hallmark symptoms of PCOS, and the number one cause of anovulatory infertility, I believe, is PCOS, if I'm remembering that correctly. And then again, in this same research study, they said, 30 to 60 minutes does good things for your ovulation and your cycles. Over 60 minutes of vigorous exercise consistently seems to have the opposite effect. It seems to be the point where there might be a risk of overtraining and of disrupting your cycles. So, as of right now, I think that those are the best research-based guidelines for exercise with PCOS as far as length and intensity goes. More research could be done, but this is a great start because we actually have some hard numbers to work with for now. I also want to say I don't know your individual situation. So if you have other medical conditions that are compounded on top of PCOS, whether it be something orthopedic and pain related, or adrenal fatigue, or insomnia, or a thyroid condition that's out of control, these numbers didn't factor that in. And I can't really address those individual unique factors on a YouTube video. So you bear that in mind when you are using these as your guidelines for exercise. Okay, so if you have questions, comments, please leave them below. Please subscribe, because this is a really exciting time to be a member of my YouTube channel, because I just finished presenting at the PCOS Challenge National Symposium. So I have just got a brain full of amazing tidbits, both from my research from my presentation and all of the other presentations that I got to view while participating in the symposium. And I'm going to be sharing them with you. So please subscribe so you don't miss any of this great information.